back out here again. I'm going to make a quick update on stuff we planted in our greenhouse. Here's, of course, the Herlong beans here. They're ready to bloom, and she only has 4 plants, and that's like they can't eat what comes off 4 plants because the beans get like a foot long. Each bean gets a foot long, and it's like a big wad. Just literally pick a big wad of beans, and that's all she saw. I saw she said she's going to take care of, and this is my wife's little garden. These are bitter gourds, and there's some hanging in there somewhere. I don't know. I see flowers. She's telling me there's some in there. They'll be all over this Turtlesaur very shortly. Very shortly, they'll be all over that. Take you out to my garden. A little view at my mulberry trees. Beautiful trees. They're just wonderful. They have good shades and have good berries on them. These are chestnuts, of course. These are not mulberries, but these mulberries just didn't do good this year for some reason. I don't know why, but these buried very few. The squirrels loves them. Here's a garden as of 2 weeks ago. I made a video. I think it was 2 weeks. And corn is doing really fine. This to give us, this is almost 4 rows to give us, I don't know, 3 or 4 bushel. You plant corn close together, and close together because it pollinates. Wind mostly pollinates the corn. And she's got, here's the peppers and her eggplant here. She said, I see some small eggplants hanging on it. I see one right, yeah, one's right there, the small one. She's got some eggplants on it. She's got plenty of them, 5. And we got bell peppers. We got some peppers hanging on them too. Cucumbers, we've had 4 hills, and we've got a bushel yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I guess it was. And tomato plants are doing just fine, just really fine. See, this one is up, this one right now is 4.5 foot high. Got plenty of tomatoes on it. The cage is 7 foot high. It'll go above the cage. The cage down there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th cage down there is 7.5 foot, and it'll get higher than that. These are all park tomatoes, all down through here, and they all got tomatoes on them, of course. And that's a little quick look at the garden. I'll run up and show you my watermelons. My watermelons here, doing really super good. Just doing super good. You can see how they spread it. I bought 2 Sams, 2 cantaloupes from Sam's. They were delicious. I know they were hybrid, but I bought 2. Then later on I bought 2 more, and from Sam's Club, and I saved the seeds out of one of them, and I planted maybe 2 hills, and they got quite a few cantaloupes on there. Let me go for this electric fence here. Just a minute. I gotta bend over and I get shocked. Whoa. Oh, whoops. So, you see little watermelons. You can see watermelons in here. You can see watermelons, they're in the head. It's late in the afternoon, actually. But you can see what a maze this is. And these watermelons were thin to 1 or 2 to a hill. I think a couple I left 3 to a hill, but most of them are 1 or 2 plants to a hill. And look what you get. I mean, this is what you get. Let me get under my bird tape. If you don't have bird tape up, you won't have anything. The crows will come in and get you watermelons and everything. It's just a mess. Notice the watermelons. Here's another one. If you can see that. Most watermelons comes on. All these vines right here are pointing toward the east. All down through here, they're pointed to the east. Your first crop that comes on is usually the east. Always the east. That's a small one, small one, small ones. There's another one. I mean, they just hundreds in here. But the east of these vines actually would be more toward this electric fence, but if it hits the fence, then it's going to kill my part of the vine. I'm going to have to move this fence over here that way, and that part, this one over there, and I'm going to have to move the fence out farther. I did last year also. But you can just see how these things. This one here is Charleston Gray. Yeah, that's a TR1 dash R313. It's a hybrid from Gurney's. You can just look at the mess, amazed that these watermelon vines are. I mean, the watermelons is everywhere out there. They're just everywhere. Watermelons is really everywhere. As like I say, you can see the one toward the east. All right, that's the east, and they're all going that way. And that's your first melons that comes on, because the east is where the sun comes up. Actually, there's another one, not very big, but we should be having eating some by on the 10th or 14th, or later than the 14th of July. 10 or 12 a day. That's we can see that or not. I got watermelons. They're just everywhere. I mean, if you think you can see the ones that's out here open a little bit, but the ones that's inside, it's just amazing. If you notice something I want to show you, excuse me, is the watermelons stick up with their blooms. Let's see if I can zoom in here for you. See, the blooms are all they just stick up. Reason they do that is once they get in such a maze as they are, bees can't get in there to pollinate, so they stick their blooms up. They stick all their blooms up so that the bees can find them and pollinate them. God, He is so good. I mean, so that's why the blooms are stuck up that way. There's another one. There's two. There's two actually. And they're just, I'm going a little faster. I'll go over to the west side of this. There's watermelons everywhere, little small ones. Now on this other side, you're mostly going to see real small ones, real small melons. You're going to see them about the size of this, or even smaller. Here's some down here in the middle. I can walk a little bit down here, can I? This will be all, you give it 5 more days, this is going to be all, you ain't going to see no black in here, you're just going to see green. But the blooms is going to stick up in the air so that they can be pollinated, and the bees do a wonderful job. My little bee hives are up there, come down here and do a wonderful job for me. Bird tape. Oh, it's a sight. You have to have bird tape to fence and bird tape and everything to raise something. Okay, I'm going down to here on the west. This is the west. That's the east side over there. This is the west. This is my fall crop. And there's one on the west side. You ain't going to find many right now on the west side because, like I say, the east is where they first come up. See all these blooms sticking up here? See all these blooms are sticking up here everywhere. All those beautiful blooms. Every one of those that's sticking up there is going to be a male unless a female, if the bees gets to it. So lots more coming on. They're just right now actually coming on. I'm looking for on the west. Well, here's one on the west. It's a little bit. It's about the biggest one I would say we'll find on the west side. Just a maze in here. Just a maze everywhere. Yeah, it's just a maze. Just a maze. Me going down, see if I can see any more down through here. Trying to keep from hitting the electric fence and dodging the bird tape from off my head. The bird tape hitting my head don't hurt anything. I just thought I want to tear it down. Is a little hard to do. Now I've had to train some of these vines because they're getting too close to the edge. This fence, as I say, is going to be moved over. I'll move this electric fence over about 6 or 7 foot, and I'll cultivate this and let the vines grow on out. Because the vines have got a long way to grow. These vines have got, vines have got 6 more foot of growth on out there, and as they grow, they're going to have more blooms, and they're going to get pollinated really good. More. Here's a piece of bird tape needs to be. It's come down on me. I'll stick him back up. So let me see if I can get through this maze and get out of here. If I get executed, I'll holler. Nobody hear me. They'd probably hear me jumping up with joy. Crazy man up on this watermelon patch. But these are, I love watermelons. I can eat them for breakfast, dinner, and supper. But you can see what a maze it is, and it's going to be even more than that. I'll try to do another video in about around the 10th or 15th of July. When I got some ripe ones to show. Now this one here is actually going, let's see, well, this is south, so we got one on here. And the little, oh, here's one. There's one of those little Sam Clubs. Cantaloupes, there's another one. There's another one. There's quite a few in there. Yeah, oh yeah. Well, that's good. I love those things. They tasted so good. They're really extra sweet. Here's one that's going west. Most all the vines, like I say, the first one comes on is the east and it's the west. This is going to be all covered up here in just a few days. It's nothing but green. Won't be able to get out in here. In it. I was down at the garden before I came up here, and I'm talking about the corn. I don't know who knows this, who don't know it, but the corn, the top tassels of the corn, when one of the tassels falls down and falls down on the husk of the corn down there, that's going to be 1 grain of corn. There's one from the top falls down and it hits on the what we call the hair of the corn. That's on the corn cob. Then that's pollinated. So you have to plant your corn close together, because the pollen from the top of the corn has got to come down and land on that. I don't know how many seconds it is. I think it's 30, but I don't know. Don't quote me on that. And that makes 1 grain of corn on your cobs. So if you got corn, if you just got 1 row of corn, or say 2 rows, you're not going to get pollination good. So you plant them close together, and you'll have good. I mean, I see people with big old long rows of corn, 200, 300 foot long, and not knowing that they're not going to get pollinated. So the corn is self-pollinated. The wind pollinates it, but the bees will get up there and pollinate it too, and they'll just eat that. They make bee bread from the top of from the pollen, and it falls down. Like I say, everyone falls down, you'll get a grain of corn. So if you get go to the market and you buy some corn that's just got skipped some places where there's not any corn, in spots. The reason is it's not been pollinated good. So if it's really pollinated good, you got a full year. It's just the whole cob is just going to be full of corn, big, really full of corn. As far as it's going to dig and all that, I'm going to train this vine. As far as it gets big and all that, that's the nutrients and the nutrients and the water source and all this good stuff. I don't like to train these, but I train them. I'm setting them back, but I mean, can't let them hit the electric fence, and I've got so many projects going on. It's a little hard to do. So, give you an update on that. Beautiful patch. Praise you, Lord. I thank my God for this. Got to go to church again Sunday and go to his altar. Oh, I love it so much. I just love my Lord so much. I just praise. I get to go to a church. He gave me the strength and an opportunity to go to church, and I go to church and I just go to his altar. And I just pray, and I want to give him praise and honor for everything. Everything. And here I am. I'm 75 years young, and I'm not fast like I used to be, but at least I have all the watermelons that me and my wife and all my children and grandchildren, and I got quite a few. And special friends like Marshall Eisen, and some special friends that I give watermelons to. I mean, I'm talking about big watermelons. I'm talking about 35 pounds, 40 pounds. I raised them. I gave my sister got one time. Actually, I was taking up donations for a church in the Philippines, and $5 a piece. I was selling them for her, and she gave me. She bought one, and she's like, I said, that old big thing back there in a blazer. You can have it for $5. It's $5 also if you want it. And I'm like, I don't want that thing going out of this where she lives at on this curvy road. It flopping back and forth from that blazer. So she got her husband to get it. You gotta get down my back, and he got it, and she took it and to her kids in Lexington, Kentucky, and she cut it. I believe she said they all ate out of it. First they weighed it, and it was 60 pounds plus. They weighed it, and of course, and then they cut it before they cut it, and they had all they wanted. Neighbors wanted, and I don't know what all that. $5 watermelon, 60 pounds. All right, love you guys. God loves you more. Hallelujah. I checked in this hive day before yesterday, and doing super good. The queen is doing really super well. And take you up here. This is a queen excluder. The queen can't get up. She can only see it. The queen has to stay in these two boxes, and then from here on up is the super honey. And like I said, day before yesterday, one of those boxes is completely capped over, so that's 22 quarts, and the other one is it's on its way. This one here, it's the same thing. It's got a queen excluder, and right here the queen has to stay in these two boxes down here. She lays, and she can't get up through yours, so all this is, these two boxes is excess honey. And I believe that both those boxes were full. Just when it gets 80% capped, then it's ready to extract. And I didn't put another super on either of those. I want them to just get capped. It's the 29th of June, I believe it is, and it's getting late in the year. And now, starting off, I only had at the beginning of the year, I only had these 2 hives, and I took and made the nukes. That's the nuke. That's empty. I just lifted it up here, and this was a nuke. And then once it got so many bees in it, I made it, made a regular hive out of it. Actually, that's 2 nukes, and this is 2 nukes. And it was getting so late in the year that I decided to combine them. So one queen had to take one queen out, and with the best queen left in there. So what you do is you take a piece of newspaper, whole piece of newspaper, and you put it on top of your first hive. Then you put your other hive right on top of the newspaper, and then you fix it up. And this way, the bees won't fight. They'll spend all their time taking that newspaper out, and overnight the strong hives, and overnight they'll take all that newspaper out. Inside there right now, I looked here day before yesterday. It's just simply, it's gone. All you got left out here is what was on the outside. That's all you got left. There's nothing out there left. And these bees, these bees are just everywhere. They're all over. This one here was ready for another super, but I decided to wait till next week and see what's going on. I want them to get really, really strong. I felt they're really strong enough. It's just that I wanted to give them a little bit more time to build up. Take you up to the next hive. Back up here at the second hive yard, the yard, yes. And these were 2 that I made from the original 2 yard I just came from. I had 2 hives. Now I had 6 hives, and I combined 2, and so I actually got 5 hives now. I was up here like a couple of days ago, 3 days ago, and this hive here was really, it was full. It was full. So I put a queen excluder in here, queen excluder right there, and so the queen is in here. These 2 boxes she can't get up here on this super. So I got another super right there. That's a big super. That's 22 quarts right there. That's 80 pounds. This one over here, gotta watch where I'm standing here. The one I got shorts and sandals on here. I don't want to step on a bee, get my big toe stung. This one here is doing really good, but it's not hardly ready for a super yet. And you can put them on too early. If you do that, it's going to give they can't guard the entrance good. So this one's not ready for one. I probably won't put one on it this year, since July, the date's the 29th, or I think it's the 29th. This one will probably just leave it like it is for the rest of the year, and next year I'll be hoping to get a super honey off of it. So right now as it stands, we should have 66 quarts. Yeah, right now I should have 66 quarts of honey made this year. 66 quarts at $25 a quart. You can do the math there and see what you could get out of that. Now remember, I started off with 2 hives. 2 hives early this year. I marked my queens in February. I split them and split them again. I made 6 hives, 5 and plus 1 more, made 6. Made 6 hives. I made 6. These were started in March. Oh, this one and another one up there too. And so two of them that I made late in the year, they wasn't doing like I wanted to, and I combined them with the newspaper, which I just showed. And these are doing great. And so I'm looking for, well, 80, you get 80 pounds of honey off one of them, and it's 22 quarts of honey at 25, and that's 66 quarts at least. That's going to be pretty good. going to be a pretty good bee year. I have clover planted, beautiful clover planted. I have these bees just to pollinate my water.